Time now is 5:02. Today, of course, is Election Day. All eyes on the race for the White House.
Former President Donald Trump and Vice President Kamala Harris both making their final arguments, hoping to sway undecided voters before the polls open this morning.
We will build an economy where we bring down the cost of living. We will ban corporate price gouging on groceries. We will make housing and childcare more affordable.
If prices are too high, we're just one day away from the best jobs and biggest paychecks and the brightest economic future that the world has ever seen.
Both candidates speaking late last night and into the overnight hours. We will have much more on the presidential race coming your way in about 10 minutes. Of course, a lot of key state and local races that we are watching for you this morning as well. We will have you covered with crews across the metro this morning. 11 Alive's Liza Lucas is in Fulton County for us, and Molly Oak is in Fayette County.
Ariana Manise with our political team is in Gwinnett County, which is an decider county as labeled by NBC. Let's kick it off with Liza, though, this morning. Liza, what do people need to know before they go vote today?
Cheryl, obviously we want you to get out the door and be as prepared as possible if you're headed to the polls. The day is finally here, and one of the biggest reminders that we really want to drive home this morning is you must go to your designated polling location. This is a departure from what we were doing during early voting, and if you're unsure of that location, well, there are a couple of different ways that you can check. You can go to your voter registration card. If you have that handy, that's going to have the location there, or you can head over to the Secretary of State's My Voter page. That will also indicate your correct polling location for Election Day. Another point that we want to drive home this morning, you want to make sure you have your ID handy. State law requires Georgians to show a photo ID when voting, and then of course a reminder of the poll times today. They open at 7 a.m. they close at 7 p.m. If you're running on the later side today and you're going to be going after work, for instance, well, you want to make sure you get in line before polls close at 7 p.m. and as long as you are in line before the cutoff time, you will be able to vote. Now, as you're in line today, you may notice some extra security at polling locations in your county, because many counties are opting to have law enforcement on site as a precaution, knowing that emotions are running high. Georgia's Secretary of State's office continues to emphasize the security measures and the preparation and the thousands of poll workers who work together to ensure today goes smoothly. Another point we want to make clear as polls get closer to opening in just 2 hours, state law requires that lines be less than an hour on Election Day. And state officials yesterday said that they are going to be tracking these times. We are also going to have reporters fanned out across the metro today. So if you run into any issues, be sure to alert us here at 11 Alive and we'll investigate. Live in Atlanta, Liza Lucas, 11 Alive News. Sending it back to you, Cheryl.
All right, the Secretary of State wants the lines to go quickly and the results to come in fast. So as the votes are getting counted, we're going to be keeping a close eye on those results tonight. 11 Alive's Molly Oak joining us live from Fayette County. Molly, what could that all look like?
Well, it is Election Day, and you guys know this. We all know it. You're going to start hearing the countdowns. You just heard Liza say it. You're about to hear me say it. Polls are opening in less than 2 hours. So as we wait for those votes to come in, we're also waiting to see when the results will come out and getting some insight on why it may be faster than we've ever seen before. This morning, the Georgia Secretary of State's website shows more than half the state's voters have already cast a ballot. That's more than 55% of Georgia's voters, something we've never seen before.
If you're one of the 4 million voters who have voted early, congratulations. You have made history.
Secretary of State Brad Raffensperger says all those early votes will be reported 1 hour after the polls close. Plus, election workers can start opening and scanning absentee ballots 15 days before Election Day. But they can't be counted until polls close.
All the absentee ballots that have come in will have been ready for tabulation, and those will be reported. That's 70% that will be reported by 8 p.m. plus or minus, assuming polls all close at 7 in those counties. And that really will give you a great path of what you can expect for that day.
As for today,
our systems are secure and our people are ready.
Raffensperger says he hopes to see strong turnout.
We should be well north of 1 million.
And for those who haven't voted,
if you want your voice heard and you haven't voted yet and you are registered, come out to vote. This is your opportunity.
Well, we're hanging out here live in Fayette County all morning today. So coming up at 5:30, I'll give you details on how Fayette County has been turning out to vote. Again, that's coming up at 5:30 as we wait for the polls to open this morning. Aisha.
All right, Molly, thank you. We'll see you then. Continuing our election coverage with 11 Alive political team reporter Ariana Maniz live in Decider County, Gwinnett. Ariana, there are some really big congressional races to keep an eye on today.
That is right. Good morning, Aisha. Georgia voters will be picking more than just a new president today. Control of Congress is also on the line this election. All 14 of Georgia's House of Representatives seats are up for grabs this year, and 13 of the 14 current congressional representatives are running for re-election. Races we're watching, the contest in District 3. The current representative, Republican Drew Ferguson, is retiring. Republican Brian Jack is running against Democrat Maura Keller. Jack served as the White House political director under former President Trump. Keller is a retired Army lieutenant. In the 5th District, which makes up Fulton, DeKalb, and Clayton counties, Republican John Bongo Salveson is running against Democratic incumbent Nikema Williams. Democratic Representative Hank Johnson is up against Republican Eugene Yu in the 4th District. In District 6, Republican Jeff Criswell and Congresswoman Lucy McBath are facing off. McBath is switching from District 7 to the 6 due to recent redistricting. Incumbent Republican Rich McCormick is up against Democratic candidate Bob Christian for Georgia's redrawn 7th District seat. McCormick is also switching from the 6th to the 7th District due to redistricting. The congressional race in the 10th District is between Republican incumbent Mike Collins and Democrat Lexi Doherty. In the 11th District, northwest of Atlanta, incumbent Republican Barry Loudermilk is running up against Democrat Katie Stamper. And in District 14, Republican Marjorie Taylor Greene is battling Democratic challenger Sean Harris to remain in office. Now, coming up in the next half hour, I'll break down state and local races and also key amendments you'll see on the ballot today. Reporting live from Gwinnett County, I'm Ariana Maniz for 11 Alive. Back to you.
Ariana, thank you. Make sure you join us tonight on 11 Alive Plus as those results roll in. We are going to be live streaming coverage of the race for the White House, Georgia results plus county by county analysis. That all starts promptly at 7 p.m. once the polls close on 11 Alive Plus.
It's 5:09 on your Tuesday morning. Meteorologist Danielle Moss in for Chesley this morning. Good morning.
Good morning. We are definitely going to continue to see nicer weather for your election day. In fact, our temperatures are going to be into the upper 70s as we are going to start to see some clearing. That wedge is still lingering around, but once it starts moving, our winds will settle just a little bit and our temperatures will rise, but we are tracking some rain showers for the rest of this week.